Hello and welcome back to Tiny Artist TV daily December Doodles event. Normally I would be drawing my numbers out of a bag and revealing to you guys what color palettes I would be working with for today, but I thought I'd mix it up a little bit and instead tell you guys what kind of character I'm doing and leave the color palette up to mystery. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Draw It app. And if you're unfamiliar with the Draw It app, it's the app I use in a lot of my shuffle videos. It's free to download, drawing prompts and ideas and whatnot. So today, as I've been doing for the other few days, I am taking from it's kind of hard to see, I'll put a screen cap up, as I usually do, the backstory and the clothing tabs to generate what type of character I'm drawing. So let's get the backstories first today. So our first character was raised by a fisher. His motivation is to uncover a murder. His secret is that he likes to steal, but he has a perfect memory. Interesting blend of feats there, traits that I'll be trying to incorporate into the character. Character number 2 was raised by a soothsayer. Their motivation is to have a family. Their secret is that they have a twin, and their special skill is that they are very quiet. So I'll go ahead and take a screenshot of that. And the third character for today, So normally if I get a prompt that I've already gotten, I'll reshuffle that particular prompt. So initially we have the character was raised by a chef. Their motivation is to master swordplay, their secret is they hear voices, and their special skill is to turn into animals. The only trait in here that's unique is the turning into animals, so I'm actually going to shuffle these 3 here to see what else I get. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we actually have 4 unique traits. And as I go on, I may realize the limit of how many traits are actually available and may just have to go with whatever comes up. But for now, I still have the power to create unique characters with this. So his caregiver was a farmer. They want to explore the world. The secret is that they have a child, which, that's kind of, how am I going to draw that? So that one's kind of whatever. I know I already had another character that had that, but anyway. And their special skill is that they can turn into animals. So that is all of my characters. So guess I'll go ahead and get started on the characters and reveal what colors I'm working with now. And now for the grand reveal of color palette number 1, which of course you can already see it on screen, but color palette number 1 is number 26, which is Spooky Night. And given this character's backstory, I figured these colors would work really nicely. The story that I had formulated in my head was, okay, so this character was raised by a fisher. He likes to steal, he's trying to uncover a murder, and he has a perfect memory. What if this character was out, doing his little thief thing because maybe the fisher business wasn't going so well, so he wanted to, bring in a little extra income from the black market to supplement his caregiver's funds. He comes home from that and discovers that the fisher has been murdered. So that is the murder that he is trying to uncover. And so I just kind of want to make this little, scrungly little goblin-esque, little, probably, teenager, young adult type character. Like, who else would combine those types of things? And of course, with his perfect memory, it shouldn't be too hard for him to solve the murder, right? Character number 2, whose description is sort of giving Yennefer of Vengerberg vibes, being raised by a soothsayer and she wants to have a child. I don't think Yennefer has a secret twin, but I haven't read the book, so I don't know. Anyway, color palette number 2 is number 41, which is Favorite Sweater. This sort of very sweet candy-colored color palette has color palette 41, yes, which is Favorite Sweater. And yeah, this character, I figured I would sort of make her something of a mage. I'm sort of having a lot of these characters either follow in the footsteps of their caregiver or go in the completely opposite direction, just to make it easier to create the character and pull more of their backstory elements into the overall design. And her clothing, I didn't include this part in the intro, but I did, well, I had recorded it and then cut it out for the sake of time. But her clothing item is a latex hat with leaf detail. So initially I was thinking of going in a druid direction because the leaves made me think of, nature, but the material of the hat is latex, which is not something found in nature. And once I started actually designing the character, she ended up going in the more soothsayer direction anyway, so this is a sorcerer, and the leaf hat detail is sort of like just a brim of a witch's hat. Since I also decided to make this character a tabaxi, since they're sort of like, quiet, sneaky, that fits into the feature of her special skill being, very quiet or whatever. And the design overall just worked best this way. Our third character here is also sort of druid coded in the fact that their character can turn into animals. So they were raised by a farmer. Perhaps this character was orphaned at a young age, a druid who was in wild shape with their clan and ended up getting orphaned, ran away to a farm, and then the farmer discovered that, oh, this is not an animal, this was a person who was in animal form. I'm gonna raise them anyway because they're just a kid. So that's that. But the color palette that I'm working with is Lemon, Lime, Rave. Some very zesty colors that we have to work with today. Not really Christmas coded, even though there is red and green. So yeah, for the most part, these characters are just going to be characters. They're not going to be holiday themed. And I knew I was going to get to a point with looking at the color palettes that I had left. It wasn't going to be an option for all of them. Yeah, so this is character number 86. Yes, Lemon, Lime, Rave, the little druid who could, and their motivation is to travel the world. So probably, I'm gonna age this character up just a little bit, maybe like, again, late teens, early 20s, and they're grateful for the life that the farmer has given them, but they want to kind of get out and about. And the secret child, I would imagine I think it's cute to imagine that, oh, maybe it's like a child who was able to wild shape very early on, or maybe this character is a shifter, and shifters when they're young can't really control the way they look, so usually end up looking more animal than human. I don't want to shoehorn my character Saffron into this character design, so maybe instead of this being a wolf type shifter, it's a little sheepy type shifter, which would effectively make it a furbolg, since shifters are the product of a union between someone who was bitten by a were creature and a human, so some of that were DNA gets into the child and that's how they end up becoming a shifter. And since sheep aren't carnivorous, we're going with furbolg. And the colors kind of lend more towards that sort of sweet, soft side anyway. So that's character number 3, and that is going to be it for today's video. As always, I hope you have enjoyed the latest edition of the Color Palette Challenge, December Doodles edition. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Have a weird day.